where we are with the terminal project, the proposal for 12 new oil wells, information about the gas leak, what's going on in the hills there. Then we're going to hear from Sue Chang, who's with the Center for Environmental Health, about the health survey program that we're launching here. Then we're going to hear from Jessica Hendricks, who's with Global Community Monitor, about the air monitoring program. And then finally, I will speak more about what is happening with SoCal Gas, fracking, and Porter Ranch's relationship to oil and gas. So I'm going to hand it over to Matt Pacuco, President of Save Porter Ranch.
Hey, thanks for coming out early on a Saturday morning. So I'm really a little disappointed about the turnout we have here right now, and especially compared to what's been going on in the neighborhood. Yeah, Saturday morning, 10 o'clock is a bit early maybe, but I mean, it's a pretty big problem. And I really wish more people were here. Part of the thing though, someone was comparing the number of people at the Porter Ranch Neighborhood Council meeting last week, saying, oh, they had so many people there. Porter Ranch Neighborhood Council does a lot of advertising and outreach for their events and other events, neighborhood events on their website. Just so you know, they refuse to post anything or do any outreach regarding Save Porter Ranch. They absolutely refuse, and you can see it it's on a video on a YouTube page where they're saying we will not post your stuff on our website. Just so you know. So, but they do post stuff like, literally the Porter Ranch Library book discussion, that's on December 5th. And they had the all-you-can-eat pasta dinner last month. But nothing about this. So remember, their elections are coming up in April. So, so the stuff that, with this gas leak, this is, people have been smelling stuff going on here for years. That facility has been, there since the 70s. And I myself, and probably other people for many years have been smelling stuff from there, yes? Anybody? A lot, almost half the room. So this thing is nothing new. It's just a big one that finally got everyone's attention and could not be ignored by even Porter Ranch Neighborhood Council. So was it our outreach that brought you here, or was it the oily mist that they announced yesterday when they told everyone to stay indoors? Oh, great. Yeah, that oily mist. What the heck is that? Is that a fragrance? It's like they're insulting our intelligence. So anyways, but thank you SoCal Gas for advertising this event for us. We couldn't, nobody else did, you guys did. So while this gas leak is 22 days old today, and it's a very serious problem, we're not going to focus a lot of time on it because we don't have any magic news that hasn't been given out by the gas company and hasn't been by their propaganda machine telling you everything's okay. And we don't know that much more than what's already in the news. Unfortunately, most news organizations, including the PRNC, only repeat what SoCal Gas says, often without even a question. So what we will address here today is why this is happening and what we can do about it. The biggest way to address these issues of this facility and its expansion with terminal and stuff is through elected officials. The air and health surveys that we're going to cover today will be brought to these elected officials. Those like Mitch Englander, our city council rep, Mike Antonovich, our county supervisor for this area. Even the PRNC. So ask them, why do we have this and why does this stuff keep happening? Today is just one big example, but again, it's been going on for years. Because those people are elected officials, they approve these kind of facilities. They approve the industrial activity. They allow the overdevelopment. They allow it to expand. And they tell us it's good for you while they get campaign contributions. So if we don't want this type of stuff to happen again, we have to, and you have to, talk to them loudly, frequently, and in great numbers. Complaining to the gas company is pointless, really. Remember, and then be sure to mention the word election over and over again, because that's coming up. Englander wants to be county supervisor for us next year, but he's been strangely absent from this whole conversation, except for, again, posting a SoCal Gas letter on the CD Council District 12 website. And a link to SoCal Gas website. That's his contribution. his rep left halfway through the PRNC meeting. Didn't get to hear what the residents had to say, but did get to hear what SoCal Gas had to say. So we're going to talk about the bigger picture, how to keep this from happening again. Unfortunately, this one example, this last 3 weeks, is just one example of what can go wrong. And in the grand scheme of things, it's kind of a small example. I mean, it's just, natural gas and mercaptan making us sick. But be glad it's just natural gas and mercaptan making us sick, and not like hydrofluoric acid and one of the many other toxic industrial chemicals that go up and down Tampa Avenue maybe every day, just 2 blocks from here, and that are used and stored up in these hills next to Porter Ranch. That's the bigger picture we need to address, because that will keep on happening until we do something about it. So who is, say, Porter Ranch? Well, we're just a bunch of neighbors like you. We all live here. We actually put our actual State of California nonprofit papers together. We are now an official entity with the state, and we're working on our 501c3 nonprofit with IRS, but that should go through pretty easily. So our mission is to protect, preserve, and enhance our delicate corner of the valley by building community awareness through education, advocacy, organizing, and strategic partnerships. Food and Water Watch is one of our biggest partners, and we have many others. 2 of them are here today, Community for Environmental Health and Global Monitoring. So Save Porter Ranch, we just started as a Facebook page, a year and a half ago, to stop the Termo oil drilling from expanding. And we found out a lot of people were concerned about that, and soon we had a core group of 12 members. Then we started investigating Termo, and we learned a lot about the community by going door to door. That's when we found out about all the health issues that everybody has. Nosebleeds, headaches, respiratory problems, and more, consistent with exposure to the chemicals that are used in a facility like the SoCal Gas facility. I've heard the same story personally from dozens of residents, and heard about them from hundreds. So a brief history of what Save Porter Ranch has been up to. Again, we were started April last year to stop the Termo project. Last summer we went door to door, flyering, petitioning, educating people. That's when we found out about all the health issues. So we started having community meetings. We had a meeting with 150 people last August, 250 people in October. We got 1,000 petition signatures for the Termo EIR, which we pushed through. More on that later. We got delivered that to the County Board of Supervisors. Again, that's the people that need to hear about it. We met with Antonivich's office twice. Then we finally got the whole health issues and the Termo on the front page of LA, of the Daily News last summer, because their reporter found out the same thing and doing their investigation. A lot of health problems. Everyone's reporting the same thing. Coincidentally, the day after that was front page, Mitch Englander asked the county to do an EIR. It's a nice gesture. He does not have any actual jurisdiction, but the pressure does help. Makes him look good. Then November last year, it hit the news. KCAL, well, all these guys, probably on all these stations that are here right now, all over the television. January 2015, we were San Fernando Valley Business Journal. We were on the front page of that, yours truly, because they found out the same thing. Headaches, nosebleeds, widespread, and they put that on their front page. April last year, the EIR was ordered by LA County, and coincidentally, a couple days after that, Mitch Englander asked for a health impact assessment from LA County. Again, no jurisdiction, great gesture. The pressure on the county does help, and of course it makes Englander look good. So this last summer, what we've been up to, you may have noticed a security guard at the top of Tampa. Those who live on Tampa probably noticed the truck traffic greatly reduced. Is that correct? Yeah. That security guard, we with the noise we were making with social media and meeting with, Antonivich's office and everything, I'm pretty darn sure that's because Save Porter Ranch and all you people helping us made a lot of noise. And so we spent the summer planning this meeting and the air monitoring and the health survey and putting our actual entity together. So some updates. The Termo Environmental Impact Report. That was a hard-won victory by Save Porter Ranch and all the supporters and all the community, because you guys signed 1,000 signatures and we delivered that time. rest assured, no matter what turmoil BS's you, there would be no EIR if it wasn't for the residents taking direct action. They even said, and we have it in writing, that they're not going to do an EIR before we hit them with 1,000 petition signatures. Now the EIR, we expect it to come out any time, really. There's no hard date. Of course, if turmoil was smart, they'll wait for this whole thing to blow over, no pun intended, and hope that residents will forget what we just went through for 3 weeks. We can't let that happen. 3 weeks and counting. Now, about the EIR, that is only an informational package for the County Board of Supervisors. It is not any magic bullet that's going to stop turmoil or anything. It's just information. County Board of Supervisors, all of them, will vote and determine our fate. They will determine our fate, what we have to live with here in Porter Ranch, by approving that or not. So remember that every time you contact Antonovich, you have to CC all of the county supervisors. Englander also. Remember, Englander wants to be county supervisor this upcoming election and for our area. So be sure you let him know what you think. He's a big supporter of overdevelopment, by the way. I'll get to that in a minute. So when we follow our Facebook page. That's where the latest stuff comes out. We ask you to take some action. Seriously, take the action. It's usually phone calls or letters or emails. It's not that big a deal. It makes a huge difference. So another thing that, City Porter Ranch is up to is looking at the overdevelopment of Porter Ranch. 2 things on our radar right now is Hidden Creek's Estates. 188 new homes, destroying 235 acres in Browns Canyon, Mormon Creek Canyon area, just about half a mile west of Mason. And a new road and a big bridge right through that empty area to bring all that traffic right down Mason Avenue, right down Cessnon, over to Porter Ranch Drive. I'm sure I would take the least traveled route right past everybody's house. So, and again, Englander is already on record supporting that one. There'll be more crowds, more people, more strain on our infrastructure with wet water, and of course, diminish the quality of life in Porter Ranch, and lots of money for the Texas developer that's doing it. Toll Brothers. Toll Brothers ever increasing the size and scope of their developments, which were approved 15, 20 years ago. They keep expanding those. They keep filing with the city to expand the number of homes or the number of condos. The more people, more stuff for them to sell. They keep filing, they keep getting the hearings, and we keep letting it happen because we're not paying attention to that one. Those hearings go up, and in 30 days it's a done deal. They get it approved. Porter Ranch has to pay attention to that stuff, or we're going to be buried. Okay, today's program. Video please. Here's part of what we're dealing with. This is news footage of the facility, SoCal Gas. Just click on the arrow. Thing is, you can't really see it from Porter Ranch. It's a massive facility. All sorts of chemicals, storage, pipelines. You just don't see it. That's why a lot of people in Porter Ranch don't even know it exists. Okay, that's good. We can bring up that map. So that's the SoCal Gas Aliso Canyon Oil Facility. It's a storage and distribution facility with underground storage capacity of 84 billion cubic feet of natural gas, most of it fracked gas, piped in from all over the western United States. There's 250 gas and oil wells total, approximately. It changes. 140 of them are active or new wells. Yeah. Each dot represents one or many wells, by the way. So don't count the dots in case those of you are counting. That field is also home to Termo. and at least 4 other oil-producing companies. Again, you can't see this from Porter Ranch. It's like living next to an invisible but toxic Torrance or Long Beach oil refinery. But we have a better view. And if this keeps expanding, we could go from this. Picture number 1, please. Show you some pictures of other areas where all sorts of oil rigs and infrastructure right next to people's homes. From LA. This is where the residents didn't get active early enough. You can find these on our website. So every one of these kind of facilities like we have here produces dangerous emissions in varying amounts and content of whatever chemicals. We will be talking about having independent third-party air testing done in Porter Ranch. Now, this is not the kind of testing done by any underfunded government agency. It's certainly not anything like SoCal Gas is doing right now to protect their for-profit interests. That's like asking the fox if everything's okay in the chicken coop. Okay, so do we know what's coming out of that facility and into our homes? Many of you have smelled it for years. We need to know exactly what it is and how much of it is, how much we're exposed to. And how many of you are fairly darn certain that for these past 3 weeks you've been sick from the gas emissions that have been emitted by this gas leak? That's half the room. Oh, me too. We're also talking about a health survey, an independent health study. Now, there's this thing called the health impact assessment that LA County could do to evaluate the health of our community sitting next to this huge facility. Probably one, well not probably, one that the county should do before approving 12 more oil wells from the Termo Company and the risk that comes with that. Say Porter Ranch recently met with Antonivich's office, our county supervisor, asking for the health impact assessment. They, of course, said no. They didn't see a reason to do it. They've had not enough complaints. They said there's no complaints coming from Porter Ranch. And the thing is too expensive, they need a really good reason to do it, and it's a really big deal, so they're not doing one. So in case you're thinking that the county is going to do something about this, they have clearly stated that they will not be doing any health study. So that's why we're here. And nothing like this is even on the radar for LA City that we are aware of. So seriously, if you think that any government agency is going to jump in here and do anything to see what's going on with our health or in the air, we need a reality check. Mama ain't coming. I mean, we are it, folks. We'll have more on how this stuff is not regulated in just a few minutes from Susan. Now, we're not here trying to drive down property values or alarm people. It's my property value too. We're here to educate people. And unfortunately, the truth in Porter Ranch is pretty ugly and pretty alarming. There's all sorts of contaminations, spills, accidents can happen. We've been saying it for a year and a half, and one just did. So what is going to come out of the ground next? Or what chemical will spill from a truck on Tampa 2 blocks from this school? So what are we going to do about it, Save Porter Ranch? The only thing you can do is get active, get involved, donate some money to Save Porter Ranch, and you get off your butts and get other people off their butts too. You got to get your neighbors involved. And hopefully we see the volunteer list full of people that want to help us out. That's the main thing we need, is people help, because it's a very small group of people that have been doing everything you've seen from Save Porter Ranch. So yes, we need money, we need volunteers, and now we need a lawyer to file a class action suit. We're looking for that. That's just business. We need help with that too. Come on, there's got to be tons of attorneys up here. So that's basically it. It's funny. I was up late at night all night trying to figure out how to get people in action. But hopefully, I didn't have to do all that. Hopefully, SoCal Gas did it for me. Thank you.
Okay, so if we could move to the PowerPoint.
Perfect.